Greetings and salutations. It's Carla from More Talk JA, and a little stuffy. I apologize for that. And a semester kind of come and just mash up my body, but I've just had to encounter my second fight in a 24-hour period. So it leads me to think that this is something urgent, critical that needs to be said. Jamaican people, ignorance is not your culture. I will say it again. Ignorance is not Jamaican culture. Because the way that we are behaving and the things that we say about ourselves and the way that we want people to think about us would lead people to believe that Jamaica is a place of ignorance. It is not. And when I say ignorant, I don't mean ignorant just in terms of not knowing things, although that is a part of what we do. Jamaican people, we don't know nothing about that. We know that. We know that. So we don't know nothing about that. Knowing about something does not mean that you condone it. It just means that you're aware of it. Ignorance is not the defining feature here. But when I say ignorant in this instance, what I'm actually talking about is ignorant like you can't reason with them. When I say somebody ignorant like them head chip out, them head gone, them head fly away, them dark out, all of them something there. We have come to believe that somehow being able to get that place to where you're dark out and nobody can reason with you is a hallmark of Jamaicanness. It is not. We have taken it so seriously that now we're engaged in what I call competitive ignorance, which is a situation where if you go for your knife, me have to go for your gun. If you tell me about my mother, we have to dip up under the whole of your family. There is no hope for de-escalating a situation because the second one person go yes, so the other person have to go higher. And the person who can get to the point where they dark out and just walk and look for things to kill people, the one who get to the point where they want to draw blood first, that is somehow the victor. You are not the victor. You are a victim. You are a victim of years of social conditioning on a plantation that has told you that a black person is a beast, that a black person is primitive, that a black person is somehow less rational, less reasoning than anybody else, that a black person is basically a wild animal. And so you function the way that wild animals do. And I find it interesting that for a set of people who are so into fighting down Babylon system and so no one nobody control them and no one white people tell them what to do, you have become the most effective functioning arm of that white plantation mentality because you are doing that work to kill off black people where white people cannot do it anymore. You need to stop. We are very much concerned with the idea of honor and respect here in Jamaica, right? We don't want anybody this way. I can usually tell when an argument between Jamaicans is about to go completely ridiculous when one person starts to say that other person is styling. Style, you try style me not. This, you try this, me not. You try to take me for boy, you try to take me for double, but all of them type of something there. The second that we feel that our honor has somehow been besmirched, we have to do anything that is necessary to return it. And I wonder if it is that we have some medieval relics running around in terms of our psyche, because only in a medieval time, you know, if somebody somehow disrespect you or them go against your honor, then you have to go into like a jousting match with them or you have to take out the long sword and come after them. This is not medieval times. Right? And I never feel we history that, so can we please get that out of our mind? I am sick and tired of us killing and shooting and beating and fighting and arguing and everything in each other over some idea of disrespect that has not taken place. Jamaican people, I need for you to learn how to separate your emotions. Disappointment is not disrespect. Sadness is not disrespect. Confusion is not disrespect. Feeling inadequate is not disrespect. None of these things are disrespect. But you treat them that way. A woman leaves her partner. Style, try style me. No, she just doesn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. You ask somebody for money and they respectfully tell you no, they don't have any money. Style, try style me. You think man a beggar? No, I don't think you're a beggar. I think you have some money and I don't have any. That whole thing about being a beggar, those are your issues that you're taking out on me. Somebody gives you a job to do and you're not able to figure out how to do it. Style, man, try style, man. Give man foolishness to do. No, it's not foolishness to do. You just don't understand it. All of these are separate emotions and none of them imply that you have been disrespected. But the second, that you essentialize every emotion you have that doesn't feel positive down to disrespect, then you are making it okay for you to react with violence to almost anything that happens to you. We have to stop it. I get it. We are the product of a violent encounter between indigenous people, African people, and European people. So we have colonial violence, cycles of it, economic violence, the poverty here, the mess that is some parts of the education system, the gender-based violence that is happening here over and over and over again, right? Racist violence that is happening here, classist violence that is happening here, all type of different violence that is happening here. That is the little stew in which we come up. And we have a chip on our shoulders. We're not the richest country. We're not the poorest country either. We're not the richest country. Plenty place we can't go there because them have visa restriction pan we. We feel like we're less than a lot of places. And we turn that into our national personality and we walk around with it all day and expect that people are somehow going to accommodate it. Not only do we expect that people are going to accommodate it, we take it out on each other as though that's the norm. That's not the norm. That type of violence is not the norm, and it's not something that any of us should have to deal with on any daily basis. We need to heal from that violence so we can get to the place so we can function like normal people. Because I'm interested in coloniality and how colonial project continues in today. I cannot ignore the fact that a lot of these killings, woundings are being done to black people. Now people might say, well, Jamaica has a majority black population, so blah, 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 blah. They're more likely to happen to black people. They're more likely to happen to black people of a particular class. Between black people of a particular class in Jamaica. We're much less likely to try and hype upon white people or Indian people or Chinese people, which is not to say that they don't experience their own type of violence, because we know that there is a way that we love tech set upon the merchant class, people who own wholesale, people who own businesses, we love go to them house and kill them off, all of them type of something there. So clearly there is a particular type of violence that they're experiencing. But this thing where an argument over $50 turns into one man getting shot in the head back, that type of thing is more likely to happen between black people. And so I cannot ignore the fact that once again, we have really taken that training on the plantation that tells us that black people are killable, that you can exterminate them, that if they offend you, you can remove them from the face of the earth because they're really not as valuable as anybody else. Anyway, one black life is not really equal to any other life, so do what you want to do. Now, these things are running around inside of us. We've been programmed that way. We've been actually actively trained into that type of belief system. And I need for us to stop and take a look at it, because this is where we are. There was what, a 24-hour period the other day where there were 15 people murdered in St. James alone, right? If you want to look at it from the aspect of gender-based violence, there have been what, like 6 women killed in the past week by their male partners or exes. And it's not that this is on the rise, it's just that we're paying attention to it, because this is something that has been happening for a long time. And and so we need to get serious, because this is not what I plan to leave for my children or my nieces or my nephews. This is not where I plan to live. And I'm sick of the idea that if I want to have a good life, I have to leave Jamaica. And honestly, the only thing that's standing between me and a good life in Jamaica is some of you Jamaicans, including those in government, yes. But those of you who are walking around every day with your anti-black self-hatred, killing off everybody around you. It has to stop. Being ignorant is not being Jamaican. Being ignorant is the pathology of whiteness that has been passed down to you as a black person that you are acting out every day. Being violent does not somehow make you valuable. Being hurt and wounded from years of oppression does not give you the right to take that out on everybody else. And at some point, it becomes your responsibility to heal from that so people can actually deal with you. Don't tell me say you're dark out. Don't tell me say just say you stay. Don't tell me say such Jamaican people tan, because I'm standing here as a born and bred Jamaican, and I am not that way. Get your act together. That's a human life you're dealing with. You need to have respect for it. Not because it's a black person, not because it's a poor black person. You don't get to kill somebody just because you're dark out, and that will not be the thing that my country is remembered by. Now, this is not my post about life in leggings. Everybody does need to go and check out that hashtag, especially in light of the fact that like 6 Jamaican women have been killed by their partners in the past week. That's a different post that I'm going to do. Violence is not our culture. Stop using culture to explain all of the bad things that you do. Violence is not your culture. It never has been. Violence is something that is a part of your culture, but violence is not the thing that defines you. You're a big somebody. Take responsibility for yourself. Think better, be more responsible, and overall just be a better human. Because if there's one thing that I know Jamaicans are supposed to be, is we're supposed to be decent people. So do that. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Goodbye.